The knife hit the wall 6 inches from Zara's head. She froze in the clinic's supply room, her heart stopping as the blade quivered in the drywall, its handle still trembling from the impact. "Wrong room," a voice said from the doorway, cold, unfamiliar. Or maybe exactly the right room. Zara turned slowly. A man stood there, mid-60s, expensive suit, face that looked like an older, harder version of Taejin and Taehyun. Same sharp features, same dark eyes. But where the twins carried controlled danger, this man radiated pure malice. "Who?" "I'm the reason my sons exist." He stepped into the room, and 2 more men appeared behind him. "And I'm the reason you're about to stop existing." Zara's hand moved toward the panic button on her keychain, the one Taejin insisted she carry. The man smiled. "Go ahead, press it. Call my sons. I'd love to see their faces when they find your body." She pressed it anyway. His smile widened. "Brave. Stupid, but brave. I can see why they're both so obsessed with you." "I don't know what you're talking about." "Don't insult my intelligence, Miss Obi." He pulled the knife from the wall with casual ease. "You think I don't know what my sons are doing? That they're both fucking the same woman like teenagers sharing a toy?" The crude words hit like a slap. "It's disgusting," he continued. "It's weak, and it ends today." Zara's mind raced. The clinic's back exit was 20 feet away. Her phone was in her pocket. The twins were across the city. She was alone. "They'll kill you for this," she said, her voice steadier than she felt. "They'll try, but I raised them. I know every move they'll make before they make it." He moved closer. "Now, we can do this easy or hard. You leave Busan tonight, change your name, never contact my sons again, and you live. You refuse." He gestured with the knife. "Well, accidents happen in medical clinics, drug overdoses, tragic." "I'm not leaving." His expression hardened. "Then you're dying." He lunged. Zara dove sideways, crashed into a supply cart. Syringes and medical supplies scattered across the floor. The knife slashed where she'd been standing. She grabbed a metal tray, swung it at his head. He blocked it easily, kicked her in the stomach. The air left her lungs in a rush. She hit the wall, slid down. He raised the knife. The window exploded inward. Taejin came through in a shower of glass, moving so fast he was a blur. He hit his father mid-stride, driving him away from Zara. They crashed into the opposite wall. "You dare?" the father started. Taejin punched him in the face. "You touch her, you die." The 2 men in the doorway rushed forward. Another window shattered. Taehyun. He took down both men in seconds. Brutal, efficient, completely different from his usual gentle demeanor. Zara struggled to breathe, her stomach screaming where she'd been kicked. Taejin and his father circled each other like wolves. "You've gone soft." The father spat, blood dripping from his nose. "Both of you, letting a woman make you weak." "She makes us stronger," Taehyun said, moving to stand beside his brother. "United. Something you never understood." The father laughed. "You think standing together makes a difference? I taught you everything you know." "But not everything you know," Taejin finished. "You made sure of that, kept us competing, kept us divided, kept us weak." "It made you strong." "It made us broken." Taehyun's voice was cold. "Until her." The father's eyes cut to Zara, still on the floor, still gasping for air. "Then I'll break you again." He moved toward her. Both brothers moved to intercept, perfectly synchronized, like they'd trained together for years instead of spent years as rivals. What happened next was beautiful and terrible. The twin dragons, fighting side by side for the first time in their adult lives, taking apart their father with choreographed precision. He was good. Better than good. But they were better together. It ended with Taejin's arm around their father's throat, Taehyun holding his arms, both of them restraining him. You leave, Taejin said quietly. Tonight, you go back to wherever you've been hiding these past 5 years, and you never come back. Or, their father choked out. Or we kill you, Taehyun said simply. Here, now, and we don't lose sleep over it. Something in their father's eyes flickered. Fear, maybe, or respect. This isn't over. Yes, it is. Taejin's arm tightened. Because if we see you again, if we hear you're in Korea, if you even think about her, he leaned closer. We won't restrain ourselves next time. They released him. He stumbled, caught himself against the wall, looked at his sons with something that might have been pride or might have been hatred. You'll regret this. Both of you. We already regret you, Taehyun said. Now leave. Their father left, his 2 men helping him walk. The second he was gone, both brothers rushed to Zara. Are you hurt? Taejin's hands were everywhere, checking for injuries. Did he cut you? Taehyun's voice was frantic. Zara, talk to us. I'm okay, she gasped. Just kicked. Can't breathe. Hospital? Taejin said immediately. Now. No. She grabbed both their hands. No hospital. Too many questions. Just take me home. They looked at each other. Some silent communication passed between them. Then Taejin carefully lifted her into his arms. Our home, he said. Not yours. We're not letting you out of our sight. Welcome back to Soul Heart Stories. If you watched part 1, you know Zara made an impossible choice. She chose both brothers. But what happens when the past comes back to destroy their future? When the father who made them rivals decides their love makes them weak? Before we dive in, consider subscribing to this channel because this story is about to test everything these 3 people are willing to sacrifice for each other. Let's get into it. 3 weeks earlier, Zara sat in the penthouse living room, looking between Taejin and Taehyun, her heart racing. You're serious, she said. You're both actually serious. Completely, Taejin said. We've thought about this, Taehyun added. Really thought about it. For how long? Since the hospital confrontation, Taejin admitted. Since I watched my brother fight for you and realized I wasn't angry. I was... He paused. Relieved that you had someone else who'd protect you that fiercely. And I realized, Taehyun continued, that I didn't want you to choose. That the idea of you choosing him and me losing you, or you choosing me and him being destroyed, I couldn't accept either option. Zara's mind spun. This is insane. Probably, Taejin agreed. But is it any more insane than everything else that's happened? Taehyun moved closer. You slept with me thinking I was him? Then you slept with him while feeling guilty about me. We've already crossed every line. Why not cross this one? Because... Zara struggled for words. Because people don't do this. 3 people can't just... Why not? Taejin's voice was calm. Who says, society? The same society that would judge you for being with either of us? That would call you a gold digger, or a home wrecker, or worse? He had a point. But jealousy, she started. Will exist, Taehyun interrupted. We're not naive. There will be jealousy, insecurity, complications. But we're already dealing with all of that. At least this way, we're honest about it. How would it even work? The brothers looked at each other. We've discussed rules, Taejin said. Boundaries. Things we're all comfortable with. Like what? Like complete honesty, Taehyun said. No secrets, no sneaking around. Everything is discussed between all 3 of us. Like equal time, Taejin continued. Neither of us gets more of you than the other. We split weeks, alternate nights, whatever works. Like respect, Taehyun finished. When you're with one of us, the other doesn't interfere. No jealous phone calls, no showing up unannounced. We trust each other. Zara's head spun. You've really thought this through. We've done nothing but think about it for 3 days, Taejin admitted. But ultimately, Taehyun knelt in front of her, took her hand. The decision is yours. We can offer this. We can promise to try. But you're the one who has to live with the choice. So? Taejin moved to her other side. What do you want, Zara? Not what you think you should want, what you actually want. She looked between them. Taejin, who made her feel safe and desired and powerful. Taehyun, who made her feel seen and understood and cherished. Both of them offering her something impossible. Her voice caught. I want to try. I want to see if this can work, but... She looked at them both. If it doesn't, if someone gets hurt, we stop. Immediately. Agreed? Agreed, they said in unison. And we keep it private, she added. I'm not ready for the world to know about this. Obviously, Taejin said. And you two? She looked between them. You actually talk to each other. No competing, no sabotaging. You're brothers first. Something passed between them at that. Brothers first, Taehyun agreed. Always, Taejun added. Zara took a deep breath. Okay, let's try this. The first week was awkward. Taejin had Zara Monday through Wednesday. Taehyun had her Thursday through Sunday. They met at a neutral location for the handoff, a cafe neither of them frequented. How was your week? Taehyun asked when they met that first Thursday. Good, Zara said, feeling weird about discussing it. We went to dinner, watched movies, normal stuff. Did he? Taehyun stopped himself. Never mind, none of my business. You can ask? It feels wrong to ask. This whole thing is wrong by normal standards, Zara pointed out. Might as well be honest. Okay, did he touch you the way I do? Does he know that spot on your neck that makes you... Taehyun. Her face burned. He smiled. Sorry, jealous curiosity. He touches me differently. Not better or worse. Just different. Good. He took her hand. Come on, I have something planned. His days were different from Taejin's. Quieter, more intimate. Where Taejin took her to expensive restaurants, Taehyun cooked for her at his apartment. Where Taejin's passion was intense and commanding, Taehyun's was tender and exploratory. Both felt right. Both felt real. And that terrified her. The second week was easier. The third week, something shifted. Taejin showed up for the handoff with flowers. Not for Zara, but for Taehyun. What's this? Taehyun asked, surprised. Apology for being an ass at dinner last week when you called. Taejin looked uncomfortable. I was jealous. I handled it badly. So, flowers. Taehyun stared at the bouquet, then laughed. You got me flowers. Don't make it weird. It's already weird. We're sharing a girlfriend. She's not... Taejun stopped. Is that what you are, Zara? Our girlfriend? Zara's heart skipped. I don't know what I am. You're ours, Taehyun said simply. However we define it. Ours, Taejun repeated, testing the word. I like that. The fourth week, they broke a rule. Zara was with Taehyun when she got sick. Food poisoning from bad sushi. She was miserable, couldn't stop vomiting, completely incapacitated. Taehyun called Taejun without asking. She needs you, he said simply. Both of us. Taejun arrived within 20 minutes. They took care of her. Together. One holding her hair, one bringing water, one calling the doctor, one getting medication. This is your week, Taejin said at one point. I should leave. Stay, Taehyun said. Rules are stupid when she needs us. So Taejin stayed, and Zara, delirious with fever, fell asleep between them on the couch, each brother holding one of her hands. When she woke up, they were both still there, both asleep, both refusing to leave her. That's when she knew. This wasn't an experiment anymore. This was real. But outside the penthouse windows, someone watched. Someone who'd been watching for weeks. Someone who'd seen the brothers come and go. Seen Zara move between their lives. Seen something that made his blood boil. Choi Dae-sung, the father the brothers thought was dead, lowered his binoculars and made a call. I found them. Both of them. And they're exactly as pathetic as I feared. What do you want to do? The voice on the other end asked. End it, before they embarrass the family further. He watched Zara through the window. Starting with her. Back in the present, in Taejun's penthouse after the clinic attack, Zara sat on the couch with ice on her stomach where she'd been kicked. Both brothers hovered. I'm fine, she said for the 10th time. You're not fine, Taejun growled. He could have killed you, but he didn't. Because we got there in time, Taehyun said, his voice tight. What if we'd been 5 minutes later? 10 minutes? But you weren't. She grabbed both their hands. You came, both of you, together. They looked at each other. We've never fought together like that, Taehyun said quietly. Not since we were kids, Taejun agreed, before he started pitting us against each other. It felt right, Taehyun admitted. It felt like how it should have always been, Taejun said. Zara squeezed their hands. So what now? He'll come back. He made that clear. Then we'll be ready, Taejun said. Or, Taehyun's voice was careful. You could leave, go somewhere safe, somewhere he can't find you. Absolutely not. Listen, Taehyun interrupted. We've been selfish, keeping you here when you're a target, but your safety matters more than what we want. No. Zara stood, despite the pain in her stomach. I'm not running. I didn't survive that attack just to let your father control my life. Zara, he wants me gone because he thinks I make you weak. So let's prove him wrong. Her eyes hardened. Let's show him exactly how strong we are together. The brothers looked at each other, some silent communication. Then Taejun smiled, sharp and dangerous. What did you have in mind? The plan was insane, but insane seemed to be their specialty. We fake my death, Zara said, pacing Taejun's office. Make it convincing. Your father thinks he won. He backs off. And then? Taehyun asked. Then I disappear. New identity, new city, and you two visit me secretly. He'll have us watched, Taejun pointed out. If we both disappear to the same place regularly, then you alternate, Zara said. 1 week you, Taejun. Next week you, Taehyun. Never together. Never a pattern he can track. For how long? Taehyun's voice was strained. As long as it takes. Zara stopped pacing. Until we figure out a permanent solution, or until... She paused. Until he's no longer a threat. You mean until he's dead? Taejun said bluntly. I didn't say that. But that's what you mean. He stood. And you're not wrong. He won't stop. Not unless he's stopped permanently. I'm not asking you to kill your father. You're not asking, but we're considering it. Taehyun's voice was cold. He tried to kill you. That changes things. Zara looked between them. Could you actually do that? Kill your own father? Silence. Then Taejun. For you? Yes? And Taehyun. Without hesitation. The certainty in their voices should have scared her. Instead, It made her feel safer than she'd ever felt. "Okay," she said. "So we fake my death. How?" They spent 3 days planning. Taejin had connections in the police department, officers who looked the other way for the right price. Taehyun had connections in the hospital, doctors who could falsify records. Together, they orchestrated what should have been impossible. A car accident. Zara's car wrapped around a tree on a mountain road. Body burned beyond recognition. DNA that matched from a Jane Doe in the morgue who died of an overdose, whose family never claimed her. Perfect, terrible, necessary. The night before the accident, Zara stayed with both brothers. No rules, no schedules, just the 3 of them. "I'm scared," she admitted as they lay in bed. Her in the middle, Taejin on her right, Taehyun on her left. "So are we," Taejin said. "What if something goes wrong?" she whispered. "What if your father figures it out? What if—" "Then we adapt," Taehyun interrupted gently. "We've gotten good at that." "This is insane," she said. "All of it. This relationship, this plan, everything." "Do you regret it?" Taejin asked. She thought about it, really thought about it. 4 months ago, she was a physical therapist going through the motions. No excitement, no danger, no love. Now she was faking her death to protect a relationship with twin brothers in Busan's underworld. "No," she said finally. "I don't regret any of it." "Good," Taehyun murmured, pulling her closer. "Because we're not letting you go. Dead or alive, you're ours." "Ours," Taejin agreed, his arm across both of them. And Zara fell asleep between them, wondering if this was the last night they'd all be together for a long time. Wondering if it was the last night ever. The accident happened on a Tuesday. Zara's car went off the road on her way home from a late shift at the clinic. Burst into flames at the bottom of a ravine. Emergency services arrived to find a body burned beyond recognition. The news spread quickly. Physical therapist killed in tragic accident. Memorial service planned. Community in shock. Taejin and Taehyun played their parts perfectly. Devastated. Grief-stricken. Barely holding it together. At the funeral, closed casket of course, they stood on opposite sides of the room. Not speaking. Not acknowledging each other. Just like rivals would. Their father attended. Stood in the back. Watched. And when it was over, when everyone had left, when it was just him and his sons in the empty funeral home, he approached. "I'm sorry for your loss," he said. Neither brother responded. "She seemed like a remarkable woman. It's tragic she died so young." He paused. "In a car accident, on a road she drove every day. How unexpected." Taejin's jaw tightened. Taehyun's hands clenched. Their father smiled. "But perhaps it's for the best. Now you can both move on. Find appropriate partners. Restore the family name." "Get out," Taejin said quietly. "I'm trying to. Get out before I forget you're our father and remember what you tried to do." Something flickered in the old man's eyes. But he left. And when he was gone, when they were completely alone, Taehyun said, "He suspects." "I know. What do we do?" "We play it out. We grieve publicly. We drift apart again, like we did before her. We make him believe he won." "And Zara? Is safe in Jeju, new name, new identity, waiting for us?" "Can this actually work?" Taejin looked at his brother, really looked at him, for the first time in years without rivalry or resentment. "It has to." 3 months later, Jeju Island was beautiful in the spring. Zara stood on the balcony of her small apartment, looking out at the ocean, her hand on her stomach. 3 months since her death. 3 months of Taejin and Taehyun alternating weeks visiting her. 3 months of building something impossible. And now, 2 lines on a pregnancy test that changed everything. She heard the door open behind her. Zara? Taehyun's voice. It was his weak. She turned, and he saw her face. What's wrong? She held up the test. His eyes widened. You're pregnant. About 8 weeks, I think. He moved to her slowly, like she might disappear if he moved too fast. Is it? He stopped. Sorry, stupid question. I don't know, she admitted. Could be yours, could be his. Does it matter? He thought about it, then smiled, genuine, unguarded. No, it doesn't matter. He pulled out his phone, called his brother. You need to get here, now. It's your week. I don't care. Get here. 4 hours later, Taejun arrived. Zara showed him the test. His reaction was immediate. He pulled her into his arms, held her tight, his body shaking. Is this? He couldn't finish sentences. I'm pregnant. We don't know who. Ours. Taejun interrupted. It's ours. Ours. Taehyun agreed, and standing there on a balcony in Jeju, the three of them held each other while the sun set over the ocean. What now? Zara asked. Now? Taejun pulled back, looked at her. Now we figure it out. We always do. Your father is the problem for another day, Taehyun said. Today, we celebrate. Tomorrow we plan, Taejun added. But right now, Taehyun's hand moved to her stomach. Right now, we just be happy. So they were, against all odds, against every rule, against everything that said this couldn't work. They were happy. 1 year later. The apartment in Jeju was bigger now. Had to be, with a baby. Zara sat in the rocking chair, holding their daughter, Mina, named after Taehyun's ex, ironically, while both brothers cooked dinner in the kitchen. You're burning the vegetables, Taehyun said. I'm caramelizing them, Taejun shot back. That's not what caramelizing means. Are you two going to argue about cooking techniques or actually feed us? Zara called. Both, they said in unison. She smiled. It wasn't perfect. They still had moments of jealousy, arguments about whose turn it was, complications about the future. And they were still technically in hiding. Still using fake names. Still waiting for the day Choi Dae-sung figured out the truth. But they had each other. All 4 of them. A family nobody would have predicted. A family that shouldn't exist. A family that was theirs. Mina stirred in her arms, opened her eyes. Dark, like both her fathers. Who do you think she looks like? Taejun asked, coming over with a plate. Both of you, Zara said honestly. I can't tell. We could do a DNA test, Taehyun offered. Or we could not, Taejun countered. Does it really matter? They looked at each other. No, they said together. She's ours, Taehyun added. All of ours, Taejun agreed. Zara looked between them. These 2 men who'd fought for her, who'd changed everything for her, who'd chosen love over rivalry. I love you, she said. Both of you. We love you too, they said in unison. And for a moment, watching the sunset through the windows, holding their daughter, surrounded by the men who'd turned her world upside down, Zara felt something she'd never felt before. Complete. But in Busan, in a dark office in the Twin Dragons territory, a phone rang. Yes? A voice answered. Sir, we have information about Miss Obi. Choi Dae-sung leaned forward. I'm listening. The DNA from the body. We had it retested. It wasn't a match. Silence. Then. Find her. I want to know where she is, and I want to know which of my sons is hiding her. Both of them, sir. They've been traveling to Jeju, alternating weeks. A slow smile spread across the old man's face. Jeju, of course. He stood. Prepare the team. We leave tomorrow. What are your orders when we find her? This time? His eyes glittered with malice. This time, we make sure she stays dead. All right, besties. That's where we're ending part 2. If you want part 3, then flood those comments with part 3 now. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and get ready because the next part is going to be the final battle. Past versus future. Father versus sons. All for one woman. And someone's not making it out alive. This is Soul Heart Stories, and this story, it's about to reach its explosive conclusion. See you in part 3 if you're ready for the end.